Let's do it, chat. Mardu humans here. So we've got a few different things on the human theme. We've got Hero of the Precinct One, which generates humans with its multicolored, whenever we play a multicolored spell. We've got both General here, as well as Judith, who are humans in our 3 slot that both trigger Hero. We've got Tajic here as another 3 that triggers Hero that's also a human. Tajic also has some nice synergy with our General's Enforcer here. Other legendary humans you control are indestructible, and this prevents non-combat damage to things. So General's Enforcer plus Tajic in play together makes your board immune to sweepers like Deafening Clarion, which is really nice. As far as historic cards go, we have the card from Historic Anthology 2, Thalia, Guardian of Thraben here. Non-creature spells cost 1 more on all sides. We also have Kitesail Freebooter and Dauntless Bodyguards as cards that had previously rotated out of Standard. And then notably in the mana base, we have 4 copies of Unclaimed Territory here, which lets us name human and then easily enable our tricolor mana base here. Now, one concern I have when looking at this deck is 2 concerns, actually. The first is that you'll note that I only have 12 red sources, which is a little bit on the low side for casting Embercleave's red cost consistently. So it might be a bit of a challenge to cast this card on turns 4, 5, 6. My other concern is that we're an aggressive deck that only has one 1-drop in it. So small concern on my part here that do we have enough ones in the mana base. Another thought that I have on this deck in general is that another direction you could kind of potentially go with this deck is if you drag the curve down a little bit more and play more 1-drops. Beneficial Marshal is a card that's probably easier to cast than Embercleave if you resort your mana a little bit, because Marshal gets cast off of territory, and potentially having 12 different 3-drops that make all of your creatures larger feels appealing. So those are things to think about that could be other directions to take this archetype in if this first draft doesn't go. There's a few different ways you could build humans in this format in the Mardu colors. Let's pop on into a historic event with these ones and see how they go. Fight Me IRL, thanks for 11 months. Welcome back. I'm back, been away for a while, but want to get back into Arena Magic Control. Well, welcome back. It's good to have you. I often say people don't quit Magic, they just take breaks. We are currently diving into some more historic here this morning, which is the non-rotating format on Magic Arena. We'll be playing some Standard later this afternoon as well. How goes it? Our first 2 decks were a little rough today. I'm optimistic for this one. I think we want to lead on the Kitesail Freebooter here. Take a peek at what's up after the breeding pool. Looks like another Wilderness Reclamation deck. I'm just going to go ahead and take the Reclamation away here. If you attack with 5 creatures, one of which is Thalia, can you still cast Cleave for red? You can, yes. That is the way Magic works. Huh? I think I just do this. Crunch, crunch. Comas T. Usurper, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Oglandia. Thanks for keeping me around. Hey, Jaden, thanks for the 13 months. Welcome back. We're staying as safe as we can here. We're doing all right. We're very fortunate and able to stay inside quite a bit. So we get to play Judith here and then, like, attack them for 8. Pretty clean live-in. Yep, pretty clean, efficient clock here. Heroic Reinforcement. I like that suggestion a lot. It's a card that's a little bit easier to cast than Embercleave. That's one that slipped my mind. That's a really good one that I've rotated out previously. I like that suggestion a lot. Heroic Reinforcements. That's a good one. Mr. Mark, thank you for 13 months as well. Welcome back. Yes, Heroic is also excellent with Hero of the Precinct One. Big agree. So we are currently attacking for 11. Not quite lethal, but getting there. Tajic gets to mentor Judy. Distraction Ninja, thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. Am I okay with letting Shark Typhoon block here? I think the answer is no. I'll put him to 2. Like, they're pretty far off of escaping Uro. I'm going to go ahead and play the Enforcer out here. Because they have red mana, so they could have red sweepers. And again, Tajic plus Enforcer locks them out of damage-based sweepers hurting us. Oh, right. They were also, yeah, it just, they're dead to, yeah, that's funny. Alright, so Wilderness Reclamation deck, Light of Hope here, and Disenchant, easy ins. Extra Thalia, easy in. Dire, actually, do I want to trim Dire Tactics against their Uro deck is a real question. Probably, if they're getting to Uro, I feel like the game's gone pretty long at that point. I think I'd rather just give them the beatdowns. This is one of the various, what are the things called? Secret Layer Thalias? I have no idea about Thalia's availability either as arena or in paper. Sure, let's do it. Yeah. In your arena settings, you can pick someone. One of the wonderful subs here gave me a code for their thing, so I have all the different Thalias to choose from. So Dauntless Bodyguard has an activated ability here, but we're just playing it out on one here, so that way we can get our pressure on. And they missed a land drop, so we're gonna play Thalia and end of the game. What matches is Haktos coming against? I imagine that's for creature-based matchups where the board stalls. It's probably actually really good against Field of the Dead, because it's largely unblockable there. Stormfist Crusader here lets us both draw extra cards, hoping to find a land so we can get down Judith and end the game. Thalia is absurd against people who are unlucky. Yeah, I mean, this opponent did keep a 1 land or 2, right? So the unluckiness is a little bit their decision. Pretty quick 1-2. Get him. Opponent kept a speculative hand that did not get paid off there. Had Thalia for the super punish. This looks keepable at a glance. Hopefully it's a matchup where Dire Tactics has text. Radagast, thanks for the 22 months. Welcome back. It's 1300 low for this time of day. So, for the last couple of weeks, I haven't been doing Magic Online to start the day. So, the initial viewer buildup that happens during the first hour and a half or so is much lower when we start with Magic Online. Because believe it or not, there are fewer people in the world who want to watch Magic Online. But yes, compared to, which is also one of the reasons why Magic Online deck lists are a premium to add to my deck queue, right? So viewer counts are lower, videos have less engagement, etc. So I get a little bit extra dollar dues from the submission because we're not getting it based on viewer metrics. It's like we're actually playing a Mardu Humans mirror match here. Alright, so I think I'm just dire tacticsing the Kitesail here. I mean, I think there's a lot to explore with this archetype that we're playing in this format. Actually, pretty fortunate to have both of our main deck dire tactics here in our opener. Want to get into Historic on Arena? What are some good decks to look into on your YouTube channel? My website is a great source for that. So my website has both standard and historic decks that are pretty regularly updated. I think the only deck that I recommend taking a peek at that's not on my website currently is Gruul Aggro. Is one of the better decks in historic that I don't currently have up on my site. Was really hoping to draw a fourth land there so we could go Enforcer plus Dire Tactics this turn, but it is what it is. I can just play a general of my own. I really love Baby Godzilla too. He's my boy. Bugler. That's a very interesting one. This is one you can't really play if you're playing Hero. He says this is opponent finds a hero. That'll show me. I'm gonna go ahead and jump block the 4 power guy here, I think. Take 3. Looking for an untapped black source. So I think I do this, protect hero, and then I can pass, and we can dire tactics plus get decent blocks inside of combat here. Another Militia Bugler is really good, generating some solid card advantage here for the opponent. Okay, so they can play Kitesail Freebooter and force my hand on this. I think I'd rather get rid of Judith than General, because Judith gives their things dice triggers. This is really aggressive. Feel like this is incorrect on the opponent's part. I get to block like this and then sack the bodyguard to protect my hero. So I take nothing and they trade their general for my 2-1. For my 2-1 and my 1-1. Hey, Neon Knight. Thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Oglandia. Go ahead and play Enforcer out here because it gives me a 2-3 so they don't have decent attacks with their 2-3s next turn. Losing their general here is a big deal because their Kitesail Freebooter being 11 turn clock versus a 6 turn clock is a big difference. So like here, again, they're attacking, but they're trading a 2-3 for 2 1-1s, and I think that's a good exchange for me. Morning, Dylan. Yeah, if you're someone that's excited for historic stuff, we're going to be ramping up the volume of historic stuff on my channel here again. Again, in general, it makes sense to focus on standard set releases. And then we're going to slowly scale it back out with a little bit more balance in all things. I have a bunch of spells in my hand right now, and they don't really at the moment. Just want to kind of play a little bit conservatively here. Wow, that's a little bit of Little bit of anti-synergy here on their part. They're playing Direfleet Daredevil here, but their general actually exiled both my copies of Dire Tactics. So maybe a little bit of a misstep on the opponent's part there. Not thinking about their Direfleet Daredevil. They have a lot of cards in their deck that don't get triggered by... that don't trigger Hero. So I actually think Tocatli Honor Guard seems very reasonable to bring in here. Kitesail Freebooter doesn't seem particularly good in the mirror. And they have both the 2-1, the Direfleet, and they have Bugler that stops. Haktos is actually probably pretty okay here. There's going to be a lot of board states where this randomly gets to just cut through them. When I bring in my extra Dire Tactics as removal here, I think. Stormfist Crusader is a trim, perhaps. Especially if we're on the draw. Giving them extra cards feels a lot less appealing. Maybe just leave a couple of Thalias in because they're a 2-1 first strike. Tocatli combos with Hero. In what way? Yeah, Tocatli is not anti-synergy with Hero. This is a cast trigger. Yeah, we said we wanted to think about while we play this, you know, is Hero good or bad? And Hero really allowed us to play a really good defensive role in that game that we wouldn't have been able to play without it, right? Making all those chump blockers was pretty critical. No, Bloodbath. Think that's incredibly unlikely. So they're Esper? Wait, they showed us Judith, right? They're four color humans? Wild. It's a little greedy, maybe. So they're 4 colors, and they're playing Hero, and they're playing a bunch of cards that don't trigger Hero. I think with this, I'm actually in a pretty okay spot to race here. Go! Go, my humans! Attack! Attack! Ooh, yeah, they could have Meddling Mage. Meddling Mage is a real card. Tajic here, notably, does not have an activated ability at the moment because it takes red-white mana, of which they have none. They cast this off Unclaimed Territories. Kind of surprised to see Kitesail Freebooter in post-board against us. It was one of my first things I reached for to cut. I think I'm going to play Tajic here, because Tajic stops Judith from killing my stuff. Yeah, they're packing it in. Of course I had fun. We won. Come on, Magic Arena. What kind of question is that? There was no Nexus of Fates, and we won. Man, so Wizards is just like planning to just get rid of all the data. I really hope they scrub personal identification data off of that and like release it. Or like let people claim their data and pull it out even if they don't want to host it. For people that didn't see it, Wizards of the Coast announced this morning that they're retiring DCI number and the Planeswalker point system. It's gonna be really interesting to see what everything looks like in a post, like, not only with the changes that they want to implement, but like in a post-COVID world, like how these systems and stuff recover. Can you explain why my keep is greedy? I have a 2-drop and a 3-drop, and I'm on the draw, so I'm pretty likely to hit my 3rd land, and I have all my colors. Would you care to explain? Like, obviously we're getting run over because the girl deck has a good draw on the play. But, like, can you explain what you mean by why you think my keep is greedy as opposed to just using bad Magic jargon? Our deck doesn't really have a lot of great tools here for the aggressive matchup, huh? Thinking about it, what are the matchups in this format where Tocatli Honor Guard is really good? Like, I get we boarded it in that last Human's Mirror, but like, if I'm thinking about the format in general, where do I go? Yeah, that's the Tocatli Honor Guard matchup. I guess it's like okay against Yarok Field. No, Tocatli Honor Guard doesn't really do anything against Nexus. It's fine against the fringe Explore decks, I guess. There aren't even a lot of those in the format, though, in my experience. Yeah, and like something we could talk about when we look at this deck, too. Like, when I look at this deck during sideboarding, I look at it and I go, okay, against other creature decks, I want to cut 4 Stormfist Crusader, and I want to cut 4 Kitesail Freebooter at a minimum. So I feel like at a minimum, I need 8 cards to bring in the creature matchups. I don't feel like I currently have that in my sideboard. Yeah, Tocatli Honor Guard does not stop Field of the Dead. It stops explicitly creatures from triggering. Six power in play, kill your thing turn 2. Not bad. .jpg. Feels like we're just pretty far behind at this point. I get to do this and do this, but like they still have Cleave in play, and they have 3 cards in hand to my 1 card in hand. Alright, they don't have a land. It's actually kind of scary that they don't have a land, because like that means they have 3 spells in their hand right now. So like as soon as they find green, we're like getting questing beasted, and it's not going to be pretty. That's actually a good thought. Tocatli Honor Guard stops both Burning Stream Emissary and Pelt Collector from growing up, which is not something I had thought about. Man, we're so close to killing them with this. So close to killing them with this. This is 8-11. We're just dead to Kindling Phoenix plus Embercleave here. Yeah, maybe Honor Guard's supposed to come in against the Gruul matchup. If we hit Gruul again in this set, I'm gonna do that and see how it feels just for those 2 cards. I don't know. It's just awkward because like Tocatli Honor Guard is gonna be okay turn 2 on the play, but like on the draw, their Pelt Collector is gonna already have grown up, and the Burning Emissaries are already gonna be in play, right? So, like, in that specific instance, it's like, sure, yeah, it would have been good. But, like, generically, I'm not sure that it would be good. Every time I see Burning Tree, I see at least 2 of them. Are they stuck together? Someone check out these players are shuffling, okay? Wake up, sheeple. The truth is out there. Yeah, I think so too, Tantrums. I think it's worse than red removal on average, probably. The good news is we're 2-1, so like even if we get stomped again in this set, we've like made a profit on this league. And honestly, if we die here, I'll probably make some edits and run it back because the set's been pretty quick with the since this deck's aggressive. Thanks for the 16 months, Zaozu. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So, I am pretty sure that we're going to increase the player cap for the next open, by the way, for people asking. Someone mentioned the event filling up really quickly last time. Pretty sure we're going to have a higher player cap. I'm also not sure if an open outside of a set release month is going to necessarily fill. The first one only had 180 people in it. We'll see. Yeah, heroic reinforcement seems like it could be a sweet idea. I like the idea of trying that card out. Yeah, this is a Tocatli Honor Guard matchup for sure. The next open will 100% be historic. The plans for the Hoaglandia Open Series is to do standard immediately following the set release, with the next 2 in the quarter being historic. So we will not do a standard open again until after the next set release. I have been unable to find out a date for HA3. I'm pretty sure we're just going to do May 23rd for the next open. Christie's due date is the middle of June, which means like any time around the start of June, she could realistically pop. So a little bit, not quite all the way at the end of May is probably ideal. Like even if I knew the anthology was coming out at the very end of May, we probably want to do it on the like the 15th or the 23rd. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should have attacked with General there and then threatened to Embercleave if they blocked. Dear opponent, don't settle my wreckage. Don't do it. Have a heart. Divine Arrow. Yep, and this only gives +1/+1, so unfortunately cannot save her here. No, it's not mathematically possible to have hit Shillionaire yet. The earliest possible Shillionaires will be happening. Earliest possible Shillionaires will be happening sometime in the next 3 to 4 months, I believe. How much time am I taking off with the new one since I know your company's paternity leave is so? So I'm planning to take a week off from streaming when the new one gets here. And then exactly how much I'll be doing when after that week will be determined upon how well Christy's recovery is going. You do not get channel points for watching VODs, only while I am live. I believe Beansy is leading the Shillings race with 652,000. Beverly Hills, that's where you want to be. Just shilling, do 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 do. Don't worry, chat. There is not a limit on Shillionaire status. I'm sure there will be a Shillionaires club at some point. It's actually kind of nice that all of you are not going to hit Shillionaire at the same time. I'd prefer that I don't have a giant influx of 100-point deck submissions all at once. Tax the Shillionaires! Redistribute their wealth! Alright, feels like another matchup where I want my Dire Tactics, Light of Hope, and maybe Disenchanted Good. Tocatli Honor Guard shuts off all their creatures entering play life stuff. Kitesail Freebooter, they don't have a lot of non-creature spells. I think I'd like to cut Tajic. Probably gonna have a lot of board states that he can't attack in on. Actually, the Stormfist Crusader is probably not amazing on the draw. Let's try this. Thread Menace, thanks for the 17 months. Oh, actually, is Haktos good here? What do we think of Haktos? Hey, Tantrum, thanks for the tip. I appreciate it. Let's try Haktos. Ooh. Hey, thanks, Tantrum. I'm sure your Winota deck's gonna be fine. Perfect. I'll take a peek after, but that'll get out of the deck queue tonight after I'm done. Needs a red source, but pretty good otherwise still. Dire Tactics, one of our better cards here. Getting Hero going early with it, also great. I think this is one of the best removal spells printed in a long time. I think this card's like pretty playable if you don't have humans, and if you do have humans, it's just like utterly absurd. Perfect. Just like we drew it up, chat. Going for Shill Billionaire, see you in 1,000 years. Is Battle of Wits a submittable deck? No. Tis not. No blocks. No attacks. Deal. We take those. We take those around here. What do they keep? Ooh, they kept a card to punk us out with. Yikes. Flicker of Fate. Blink my removal, will you? I wonder if they've got more Trixies like that since they didn't play anything out last turn. So kind of looking for another red source here. Alright, that's tapped, but we take those. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and just play Tocatli Honor Guard out here. So this way, if they have things entering play that trigger to gain life, their primates don't happen. I'd love to prowl the bottom of silver with Battle of Wits on Arena. Okay, so actually, we were talking about cards for Historic Anthology 3. Battle of Wits is officially at the top of my Historic Anthology 3 request list. That is officially the card I would like to petition Wizards of the Coast for. Is I would like to play with Battle of Wits in Historic, please. There's even a companion for that deck. Yep, you get a free roll Yorion. Free roll Yorion with your Battle of Wits. Rad for life forever. Thank you for the very generous tier 3 resub. My choice of mutate decks will do, will do. Bone's got definitely not the stock White Devotion aggro deck. Got a weird mix of things, going a little bit bigger, has some random combat tricks. More than Maze's End. Now, Maze's End is up there too, you're right. Excuse me? Wait, why did they play a creature and then I mean, like, I think this card's playable, but like, they definitely shouldn't have played their Hawk out beforehand, right? Like, this card seems fine in their deck, just a little bit of missequencing on their part. I missed that. Okay, so the reason why, and this is one of the reasons why I really wish we had the Historic ladder year-round, is like, we're 2-1 in this constructed event, and we hit this opponent, and like, I kind of feel bad, right? Like, there's a very good chance this opponent is someone who's newer to Magic, and they're just like playing whatever mono white cards they want to play. Which is fine, which is sweet for them, but it's like, you know, like playing like my potentially tiered competitive deck against mono white cards I like is... It's not like a good play experience for me, it's not like a great experience for them getting beat down by my piles of rares and stuff. If you want to annoy the Magic Arena people and retweet and like this tweet asking them when we're going to get HA3 and suggest we add sweet cards to it, feel free. Feel free to use that one. We're on the play. Seeing sounds great on the play. Get to bottom the Dauntless Bodyguard here and go like 1, 2, 3. We are Jeff's Twitter bots. Listen, I need the info, chat. I need the info. They need to know that we have a wonderfully engaged and active historic community that needs support. We will build the historic community, chat. We'll have tournaments, and it's going to be wonderful. I think we need better cards than that. No, I think those are exactly the cards we need. I think sweet alternate win conditions that get Timmy's excited to play Magic is exactly what the Historic Anthology should be about. Nah, I think this one drop's fine to play on one. Like, 2 Jackal Pup on 1 is fine. Hey, Atomic Brigadier, thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. The worst part about this card is that you can't auto-pass priority because it always has an activated ability. This and a Danto Vanguard is just like, please auto-pass. Historic Anthology goals, cool cards with unique effects, and playable answers to problematic threats. I think the third goal past those 2 things that you just stated is, I think those are definitely goals that they have. Cool cards with unique effects, playable answers to problematic threats, and then things that, like, add a little bit of playability to archetypes that are otherwise coming up a little bit short. Things like Miro Regery, for example, I think was an excellent addition. Is there a card they can print that can slow down Gruul? You know, I'm not actually convinced Gruul really needs much slowing down. I feel like between as someone who's played a variety of different decks that have like beaten Gruul's nut draw in various iterations, I feel like Gruul in its current state is pretty reasonable. Thanks, Black Sheep, for real. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one too. My only worry about the next one is if we do it on the 23rd, will we be safe from Christy giving birth before then and having to cancel it? So I think, pretty sure the 23rd is going to be the date. In fact, I'm just gonna make a decision. I'm gonna tell Christy to put that up. How do you play Historic on Arena? So, there is not the ladder for Historic is not always available because Wizards of the Coast is Wizards of the Coast. There is, if you toggle advanced play modes, there is a 1,000 gold entry fee constructed event that you can play in. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. Yes, Bedevil resolves. Bedevil resolves. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. That was great. Listen, I feel for the opponent. We've all been there. You still love to see it. Due to our strategies of aggression and clearing stuff out of the way, we should consider Dreadhorde Butcher. It might not be human. Seems less beneficial than smacking them. Yeah, I don't know. I think you're right that the menace on Stormfist Crusader can't be understated. I think both Stormfist Crusader and Dreadhorde Butcher are like equally bad against aggro. I actually think that's not even true. I think Stormfist Crusader is actually better against aggro because of its menace aspect. Reveling in the opponent's misery because MTG has provided you with just as much misery over the years feels appropriate. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Dub. Thank you for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I feel like the fixing for Meddling Mage isn't quite there. Feels like you come up just a little bit short. Maybe a little bit more than a little bit short. Yeah, Esper Hero Humans could be super reasonable in this format. I agree. Like Meddling Mage plus Kitesail Freebooter is super reasonable, as Modern's past have taught us. You can't, we obviously don't have Reflector Mage on this platform, but Exclusion Mage is technically legal, although that one doesn't trigger Hero, unfortunately. So you're saying they should reprint Reflector Mage, something like that. Something like that. Ancient Ziggurat. Yeah, you need something like you need another Rainbow Land, I think, to make Meddling Mage work. Where's that Thalia art from? That is one of the Secret Lair Thalias, I believe. That's where that one hails from. I'm gonna lead on the general here and then hope to draw another land next turn, so that way we can go Hero into Enforcer. Maybe I'm just supposed to play Hero, and then next turn to fight the land, I can still Hero into Enforcer and make 2 tokens. Why is Reflector Mage considered so good? Because it generates an incredible amount of tempo. It's a card that puts your opponent very far behind on board. Yeah, it effectively removes a card for 2 turns. It's especially good in conjunction with things like Meddling Mage, because you can name the card that you just Reflector Mage back to their hand, which is very powerful. Cavern of Souls is a stain and should never exist anywhere ever again. So I assume we're going to lose the general here, unfortunately. Oh. So they have Ritualist then. So we're going to lead on this because I expect them to have Ritualist. So that's where they take some damage if they have it. Cavern was not banned in Standard, no. Are they dead? This is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 30, 40, 50, 60. Yeah, wow, they're super dead. Hero plus 8 3-mana lords is really sweet. I think Besage You's fine. I think if you look at Boseiju, I think looking at Boseiju and Cavern of Souls next to each other really just helps highlight how absurd Cavern of Souls is. Like, looking at those two cards next to each other is like kind of unreal. It's kind of unreal. Sure, send me up. A little bit mana heavy, but has all of our colors. Goes 2/3 very nicely. Pseudo Panda, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. What's a Lotus Land? Pie Master Pie. I'm blanking on what that jargon refers to. Locust. What's a locust? What is a locust land? Locust, Lotus, whatever. Oh, Cloud Post? Stop it. Stop it. Get some help. Punished here for not playing the general on two. Two Grixis decks in a row, though, huh? So I'm going to play out Enforcer here to play around Ritualist. It's a little bit of a slow and steady approach, but seems right. Path to Exile and Historic. I think Path to Exile would be an incredibly bad card to print. I think Declaration in Stone would be a card I'd love to have in Historic that we will eventually get here thanks to... them printing Pioneer into this client. Deccan Stone even serves as a tool to help white clean up zombie tokens against Field of the Dead, which is excellent. Alright, I was gonna hope they don't draw land, I think, here, and just ship. Like, we're on the just don't beat this card plan. I was actually kind of surprised that Deccan Stone wasn't included in the last Historic Anthology. Because they printed a bunch of good answers to Field of the Dead Zombies that I thought were great. Alright, so we need them to not find an untapped land here. Oh, they're dead anyways, right? Lol. Tutti frutti. Oh, Judy. Tutti frutti. Oh, Judy. Beer-da-doo-doo. 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 You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. Deck's super trim against control. Yeah, feels like we have good plans for control. Do not feel like I have good plans for other aggro decks. I will pretty much like every comment about the Historic Ladder always being on that comes across my timeline. Because the Historic Ladder should, in fact, always be available. Corporate greed and poor decision making is the only reason to ever turn the historic ladder off. Oops, did I say that out loud? I gotta stop saying the quiet parts loud, chat. Maybe they'll work with me if I stop saying the quiet parts loud. Doubtful. I'm doubtful too. That's why I keep shouting them from the rooftops, Manny. I think the ship has sailed and there's nothing we can do, so might as well just keep it on, right? Lean into it, exactly. Maybe along with deleting the DCI, they'll delete the beef. Maybe. Rough. When your duress can't take their murder. Brutal. Brutal. Oh, come on! Come on! Thought we were gonna get to Haktos some chat. Wanted to get Achilles out there. General Enforcer flavor text might come up this game. If they don't draw another thing, General exiling things to make tokens could be super good. I've got, what, 4 things in my bin here that he can exile? Five things. They are going to get to start attacking with Nikki B, though, here, with Murderous Rider to block on the ground. I guess I should be attacking in the air if I'm not blocking, huh? Yeah, I missed a point of damage there. It was a free roll. Yep. But if I send all of these here, they eat this, this dies. They chump, this dies. I think I have to kill their planeswalker. This is a very good draw. Obviously. We had a number of very good draws there, though. Who's got 2 thumbs and is dead to Ritual of Soot? This guy right here. Okay. Okay. And remember, they couldn't kill the general there with that because the Enforcer was having none of it. Was that good? What do we think, chat? Is this a decent turn? Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. This card does a lot. This card does a lot. Yeah. Maybe I'm supposed to play Enforcer out first. I don't know. Both our lines kind of died a Ritual, right? Playing General pushes more damage. Yeah, it's main deckable Graveyard Hate too. I agree. Big agree. All right, sick. That felt really good, huh? Like really super reasonable. Yeah, let's open some packs, then I have some thoughts on Mardu Hero, huh? Mardu humans here. Alright, so my first thought, I need more things in the sideboard for the creature matchups. Second thought is, I think this is better top end than Embercleave in this deck. I know that this will get increased to 5 when we have Thalia out, but I think that's fine. I think, again, one of the things I mentioned at the start of this set was, if you look at our mana, we only have 12... We only have 12 red sources here, which means that we only have 12 red sources here, which means this card's kind of hard to cast consistently. I think I'd like, honestly, even getting up to like 2 or 3 or 4 of these could be reasonable as well. Yeah, I don't think the mana can support Marshall. I also know that they really need Marshall. I was pretty impressed with our 8 lords here. We have 4 dire tactics. So basically, the hedge this deck is making is that we're assuming that we want less dead cards game 1 against things like Nexus. So another direction you could try and take this into is, if you wanted more heroic reinforcements, like maybe you want the dire tactics in the main. I think Stormfist Crusader was a little middling for us. I could see doing this and just like getting another land in here. Like this doesn't seem unreasonable, like playing 4 of these and playing a 23rd land. Heck, if this is what's it called? If this, you could even if you think we have enough colors, you could play a castle here. We could play any of these castles are good, right? Like White Castle makes a human. What if you just do that? It might honestly even be right to get up to 24 lands and like play a couple of castles. This making humans. Castle Embrith could be good here. Castle Lockwing could be good here. Amori is free? No? You know, I see a couple people talking about companions. Amori is everything has to be creatures, right? I've got two of these. Now, and actually, one card that could be thought about is, this is almost free, right? Our main deck meets the requirement for this. Just like looking at the cards we want to play. Post board, Haktos breaks it, but like this is actually just a free 5/5. Right? Yeah. Yeah, looking at companions, Jeg's a free 5/5 for 5. So that's probably like this is an upside to cutting Cleave too. Like I'm not sure that Cleave is better than this anyways, and if you cut Cleave, you get to play Wellspring for free. I think I like this. And then other thoughts from the sideboard is I'm not sure I love Tocatli Honor Guard, like thinking about this format a ton and thinking about like what cards I expect, what decks I expect other people to play against, to like run through the list of things where Tocatli Honor Guard is good and the list is kind of short, if I'm being honest. And I felt like I wanted more than just 4 dire tactics in the creature matchups. So I think some number of Noxious Grasp or Justice Strike. What are our other 2-mana removal spells that are multicolored? Bedeck's actually kind of funny. Yeah, you could play, oh, I actually really like D-Spark in some number. I think that's a great suggestion. I think that card sounds great. I wanted more ways to kill Wilderness Reclamation, and D-Spark sounds like a great way to do it. I don't know if this card's good against aggro. I wanted more cards against like dedicated creature decks. I don't think you want more than 1 or 2 of these against Gruul, but like two of those sounds great. Yeah, and then honestly, Justice Strike or just Noxious Grasp sound fine to round things out. I don't even think you necessarily have to be a slave to your hero theme. I think you could just play other good cards in the sideboard here. You can even just play like a couple copies of Shock even. But yeah, I think something like that sounds good. And then honestly, with Jeg being free based on everything else that we're doing, I would wonder, is Haktos worthwhile? Is it worth losing your companion in the control matchup to gain this, or is this not worth playing if we're gonna have this? Especially with like heroic reinforcements, because like in that set we just played, I was cutting Embercleave against control, but you wouldn't cut heroic reinforcements against control. So it's very possible you just like don't need these Haktoses in your board. Yeah, something like Bone Crusher Giant could be okay. I'm also just a pretty big fan of just like actual shock. One mana removal spells to like be super efficient is really, really good. Are there any other legendary humans? That's it's actually a good call, a good question. If I search legendary human, do they come up? They do, actually. Windgrace, Teysa. Doesn't look like there's any particularly good ones. There are children playing music behind me. Winota and Tomic. Yeah, I don't think so. I think Thalia wants to go. But at any rate, if you're looking for a sweet Mardu aggressive deck in Historic, this one felt like it had a lot of legs. And for sitting here talking through the different options that you have available to you, there's obviously a lot of room to tweak and adjust this. Like I said, you could test more lands, you could test different mixes of removal spells, stuff like that. So if you didn't watch this set, it was fun. I'd recommend watching back over them. Kenrith with Jeg sounds decent. That could be cute, maybe. I don't know. That sounds like Kenrith isn't really what this deck wants to be doing, right? Like that's really big and expensive. And like the idea is that we're an aggressive deck. We're mostly just playing this because it's a free roll. Alright, we are going to dive on into some standard for the rest of the stream. I'm going to go ahead and hit a quick ad roll. I get everything set up and flipped over. And when we get back, we are going to kick off with the 4-color Yorion Fires deck that won the Hoaglandia Open this weekend. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere.